Hey everyone, Mr. Shower today, and we are going to be talking about the journal assignments for week 7. So you have two slides here that you will be copying to your journal slides, and then you will be editing the information on these slides. So the first one is going to be about the social contract, and there's a video analysis. This is actually a very recent video by Kimberly Jones, and she's actually referring to something Trevor Noah said. And if you're not sure who Trevor Noah is, that's The Daily Show. It's about politics, but it's really insightful in what is happening in the recent course of news. And so we're going to be looking at Kimberly Jones, and all you have to do is go to the table below. First, answer what is the social contract. You can look it up here, look at a chart, or you can go to this handy dandy video about the social contract that Trevor Noah actually explains and relating it to what is actually happening with Black Americans today. And so it's actually a very insightful little video, and it really kind of explains what Rousseau said about the social contract. And so make sure you understand how to do this. Video of Kimber Jones right here, and this is very important. And this is what you really need to analyze. So as you click on this, you're going to be taken to a little video from the woman named Kimberly Jones, and she isn't anybody famous, but she was doing a documentary for a friend, and what she said was very impactful. So kind of listen to her and think about the analogy she makes about monopoly, and it really kind of opens your eyes to what is actually happening. So this actually was filmed in Atlanta, Georgia, um, in June of this year, so a couple months back. So what we're going to be looking at is what did you learn, what is significant or troubling about what she says. Is there some emotional engagement? Was it emotional for her? What do you think? How do you think this is emotional for you? What does this video even provoke for people that are thinking about this idea of what is happening, the riots and protesting and Black Lives Matter? And then think about the ethical reflection. What kind of questions does the video raise? So think about it, ask kind of closely, and make sure you kind of watch and even go through the transcript to think about what she's actually saying. And you can even look up some of the facts that she mentions, like Tulsa or Rosewood. And these were actual places, and they're no longer places anymore. So just something to help you kind of think about what's going on. The second slide is going to be about notable quotes. So you're going to read the following quotes, and you're going to reflect and analyze again on some of these quotes. These quotes are going to be about revolution, and they come from Voltaire, Goethe, and also John F. Kennedy. So each of these quotes need to be analyzed separately. So before you analyze, make sure you use the quote analyze sentence frame. So you're going to be looking at what the quote makes you think about, what the writer wants us to consider. Why do you think they said this, and what is actually happening at the time? So you might want to actually look up what is happening during some of these time periods. JFK was in the 60s. So think about how closely that is to some of the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, and many, many things that were happening at that time. Voltaire obviously was in the time that we were studying, and also Goethe was actually around the same time period. So think about revolutions at that time. The writer speaker wants us to consider many things and think about their perspective before you start writing or thinking about how the code actually matters. Think about the meaning. Think about parts or any parts that the writer's trying to get at. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? And what do you not understand about the quote? Okay, so for example, you might not understand the fruit of injustice. What does that mean, fruit of injustice? So you might want to kind of explain that, and then maybe take a guess at what you think is kind of speculating, breaking down the smaller words, and think about how they're being compared. And also think about how it resonates with you. What is something that actually makes this quote important to you? Okay, and so you want to actually give 2 to 3 sentences per quote. You want to go through every single quote. You want to use your sentence frames to guide and, of course, help you relate or even comprehend or even kind of think aloud about the quote so you can analyze it. Okay, so make sure you use maybe one or two sentence frames, and make sure that you have 2 to 3 sentences for each of the 3 quotes. All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to email. Um, Myself and Ms. Orteg will definitely be ready to kind of help you with any of this quote analysis. And make sure you review the directions carefully before you get started, and try to make sure that you do some research. So Google it. All right, guys, thank you for your time.